Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Duneske, where today we're pretty much doing exactly what I said we'd do yesterday. We're working on the second loop around what I've preliminarily said will be the shop. That's just in my own mind, that could be a shop area. Not 100% sure anymore. Looking at the size of it now, this could very easily be the BGA I'm going around. Also, apologies if you hear a little wobble every so often. I have my pop filter in front of me because I've got the mic pretty much in my face today. Just so that I don't have to talk so loud. And occasionally I bonk it with my nose because I am clumsy as hell. Now, today's video is actually 2 different recording segments, because why not? And it's one of the longer ones that I've recorded in a while, in terms of the amount of time it took to record. Now, the first segment is about 40 minutes, condensed down to about 10. The second segment is about the same again. The reason I recorded like that is because I got called away while I was recording. I was fully expecting to just do the normal full 2-hour record and edit and commentate over a half-hour video. That isn't exactly how it turned out, because the first 40 minute segment, good lord, I'm struggling with English today. The first 40-minute segment was I had to run off because the tumble dryer broke last night. I was completely unaware of this, and I pretty much had to run off and help put in the new one. But I made some money out of it. If you have ever replaced a tumble dryer before, you'll know that if you take the vent hose off and fiddle about inside it with your arm, if your arm is thin enough, mine isn't. I got stuck inside the tumble dryer a few times. Or if you pretty much wiggle around a wooden spoon in the front where the filter goes, you can get some cash, because that's where all the coins end up. So there's a pro tip: if ever your tumble dryer breaks, rip the hose off. I don't encourage doing this to a working one, because you will break it. Rip the hose off a dead one. Shove a wooden spoon in the front where the filter was. Wiggle it about a bit and shake the tumble dryer, so that you get the cash out. I got about €10. €9.22 to be exact. And one of my friends is messaging me on Steam, which hopefully you can't hear the notifications for, because I got the mic in a different position today. So yeah, today we are just kind of, this terrain was hellish. I decided to just go straight and flat along here, because that kind of made sense in my head at the time. And I'm kind of regretting, because you can see I'm constantly trying to smooth and fix the fields and get it somewhat right. And as you can see, I decided that the field wasn't out far enough. This is why I haven't done any field boundaries yet. It's because I'm constantly changing in my own mind and in the map where the fields are going to be and what way they're going to look and that sort of stuff. So once we got all the roads in and all of the train lines in, because the train lines are going to be in, I'm not going to put them in directly after the roads. I may take a break from doing roadworks and laneway works to just kind of finesse the fields a bit and the field boundaries a small bit, because I'm not quite happy with the way they are, and there are going to be areas where I'm going to need gaps that are there to be smaller, somewhere the gaps aren't big enough, so that's gonna be a bit of work. As you can see, I just left Skype and Facebook running, which was probably a mistake, but we live and we learn, and I made a mistake, and I'll have to deal with it. And I should mention now that a Skype message towards the end of the video does have some strong or not a Skype message, a Facebook message, because the notification pops up, does have some strong language. It will not be up for long, but be warned if you are not particularly fond of strong language, I guess. That's why I try and avoid it. I know that there's a lot of people out there who don't like strong language. I'm Personally, I'm not too fussed. You can say more or less whatever you like to me, and I won't be offended. Obviously, if you touch on some things, I will be very offended. But most things you can say to me, and I won't really care one way or the other. You can see that the issues I was having with the terrain is just, it didn't want to behave at all, and every time I went to fix it, it kind of got worse and worse and worse. So it just kind of became a balancing act of, well, is this good enough? Yes. How does it look on the ground? Terrible. Okay, let's try and fix the ground level. Oh, the ground level's gone wonky. Now it looks terrible, so let's fix it up, and now the ground looks terrible. So it was a balancing act, and you can see there I'm trying to fix the ground level, and it's just kind of going everywhere at once and not really behaving all that well. And I do know about the big lump off in the corner of the field that will be fixed soonish, I believe. That big lump there will be fixed. Don't you worry about that. I'm just trying to work my way along as I go. I might bring the field back from the road a bit more if I feel that the hedging is a bit too restrictive, because you see, I don't know where the hedges are going to go. The roads aren't going to move, but the fields can be brought back a small bit more if I decide that should be a thing, essentially. So, I'll be making those calls when the time comes, and you can see the big mound that I've made there, which is going to be... I'm going to get rid of that before the end of the video, don't you worry. Because I've done all of this already, so it's all very nice and thought out already. There was something that I wanted to wade into, and I've forgotten. Oh, here we go. Trying to get rid of the big lump. There we go. I think I resurrected at some point later on, but in a less ridiculous manner. Because I don't want the fields to be perfectly flat. I want some hillage in the fields. It's just when they're big massive lumps of the combines are going to get stuck on, that's when I have a bit of an issue. And I'm trying to guess what the combines will and won't get stuck on as well, which is a bit of an issue. It's tough trying to guess in Giants Editor how it's going to be in game. So I'm just trying to get them smooth but still hillular. I was going to jump into... Oh, the Oscars thing, of course. The big debate around the Oscars, is it too white or is it black enough for whatever? I'm going to just really quickly touch on a couple of points. I'm not going to go off on a rant. How do I want to go about this tactically? Quotas are fine. Having quotas for things like crops and wood and fish is fine. I don't think the Oscars should have a quota of black nominees. Black, Hispanic, minority nominees that they, for whatever reason, because, we have to be politically correct. I don't think any award ceremony should have some sort of quota that they have to have so many black nominees and so many Hispanic nominees and at least one black winner or something like that. That's... people are saying, oh, this Oscars thing is racism. It's racism the other way around too. You don't give people awards just because they're black. I'm sorry, but that's not how the world works. Now, it could very easily be the case that there just wasn't a good black actor this year. And I'll be honest, a lot of black actors from the movies I've seen, which, alright, I don't watch too many movies, but a lot of black actors are in bad comedies about, kind of making light of the fact that they're black, which isn't Oscar worthy. When's the last time there was a comedy winning Best Actor? I don't know, mainly because I don't particularly care about award ceremonies where rich people give their friends awards and have a big circle jerk saying, oh, look at how good we all are. That's not my style. if somebody's good, they deserve to win awards, and if they're not, they don't deserve an award. That's the way I look at it. And just to touch on the whole, because I've been watching a bit of Teal Deer, who basically just tears apart various bad arguments, which is why I watch him. He tears apart various bad arguments fairly regularly from feminists and men's rights activists and the MGTOW movement, men going their own way. Now, I don't particularly appreciate any of those movements. I'm more of an egalitarian myself, meaning I hate everybody equally, pretty much. And I always say that, I hate everybody equally. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, pink, blue. I was going to say yellow, but that is in itself a racist term. Doesn't matter what colour you are, what shape you are, what gender you are. I hate everybody equally. I hate people who force their opinions down my neck more than anybody else. So, we'll say Westboro Baptist Church. They can go to hell, and they probably will, if there is a God, which I'm not going to wade into that debate. But just to wade into the whole feminist and MGTOW and men's rights movement, each movement have good points. Each of them has a good point. Men's rights as the whole, well, female genital mutilation is completely illegal and frowned upon in every country in the world. Men's genital mutilation is encouraged for some reason, meaning circumcision, which is true. Normally, 90% of the time it's done when the man, or the man in question, doesn't have the chance to say, no, I don't want this, because it's done at birth, because of religious reasons. I don't know why I'm struggling to talk today. But it's done for religious reasons by the Jewish communities and in America, just for cleanliness reasons, which is the dumbest reason for anything. And I'm not belittling people who've made that decision themselves. It's forcing that decision on a child. It's genital mutilation, no matter what way you put it. No matter what reasoning you use, doesn't change what it is. The men's rights movement also advocates for equal jail sentences for men and women. Now, why would that be a thing? Because women are jailed less frequently and for less time than men for doing the identical crimes. Women can't be convicted of rape because apparently only men are capable of forcing somebody into a sexual position without their consent, which is false. And I'm not going to deny feminists their viewpoints that they have right. Men traditionally are favoured in society, especially in the likes of China with the one-child policy, which does favour men. And traditionally, men have got a lot more opportunities available to them than women have. And yes, that needs to change. But the whole patriarchy ruining the world thing is just a militant feminist thing. I've just noticed this. I could have moved that junction instead of did something stupid there, and now I'm a bit angry. I could have moved that junction back a bit, because that might have made my job or things a bit easier for me. Oh well. And by militant feminist, I mean the likes of Anita Sarkeesian, who, for whatever reason, say, "Oh, I'm a feminist, and all men are evil." That's not feminism, dear. That's actually sexism. It's actually sexism. I'm not going to say a lot of feminists are sexist, but a lot of the ones that you hear about are, yes, oh yeah, I found some grass under the ground. So I gave me drain tool a wave and got rid of the grass. a lot of feminists you hear about, the likes of Anita Sarkeesian, who make waves around the world because, oh, men are doing this to me, and death threats, and all that nonsense that may or may not be true. She is sexist. She's just not the sexist that, you're used to. Because the sexism that you're used to is male on female, whereas she's female on male sexist. And it is a thing. And that's what she does. That's how she makes her money. She lies and she hates men. They are her two things. And she can, if for whatever reason Anita Sarkeesian is watching this, or a supporter of Anita Sarkeesian is watching this, you're sexist. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you claim about me. Because, you know what? Nowhere in the world has it ever been illegal to be female. I'm from a group that has been discriminated more against. I'm from a group that still has laws banning them around the world. And no, not a terrorist group. And not by choice. I'm not a member of this group by choice. But the LGB community, LGBTQA, whatever initials they're using this week, good lord, I hate those initials. The gay rights movement, I think has a lot more ground to stand on than feminism. And I'm not belittling feminism at all, but nowhere in the world is it illegal to be a woman. Yes, women are discriminated against worldwide, but they're still legally allowed to exist worldwide. If America passed a law tomorrow saying, oh, it's now illegal to have blue eyes, and everybody who has blue eyes will be shot on sight. That's what a lot of countries do with the gay community. Specifically African countries, and some Asian and Middle Eastern countries, where religion is far too powerful. And yes, in those countries women are discriminated against, and I'm not saying they're not, but I kind of think that the gay rights movement has a lot more reasons to be angry with people, specifically the so-called patriarchy who somehow run the world from offices somewhere in Denver or something like that. I think the gay rights movement has a lot more reason to be angry with the world as it is. And we're not angry. I'm not angry anyway. Like I said, I hate everyone equally. The gay rights movement actually tries to lobby for change instead of just spouting hate speech constantly. Look at the Irish situation with Panty Bliss and all that, and I know we're getting close to the end of the video, but I want to talk about this really quickly. Instead of, spouting hate speech about straight people and about all of that, Panty Bliss and the Irish gay rights movement said, look, this is the reality of things, is that we've been discriminated against throughout our entire lives. We are asking for one thing that will make absolutely no difference to anybody else, and that's to be able to get married. And Ireland passed it. Ireland's the only country in the world where not only is gay marriage legal, but it's constitutionally protected and held to the same standards as a heterosexual marriage. Transgender people also have special considerations in the Irish constitution. Ireland is actually one of the most gay-friendly countries in the world at the moment, in terms of, actual legal rights and all that. I know there are more gay-friendly countries, but in terms of legal protections and constitutional protections, Ireland is right up there on top. Probably in the top 5. But I'm afraid we've run out of time, because I've gone off on a rant and haven't really talked about what's happening in the video, which is lanes being laid and terrain being deformed, and me getting progressively more angry at the terrain for not wanting to behave properly. Anyway, until next time, which will be Monday on the big farm, hopefully, fingers crossed. I actually have an internet connection next week. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.